Hey peeps, I'm the usual Henshin, and behold, my anime pet peeves. That's right, I'll be presenting you my personal pet peeves. But as before I go into it, you may saw it from the very beginning of this episode about a particular warning about it and an absolute important notice. These are my personal ones. I may bring up some shows about some certain tropes or certain things, but however, don't get offended by it. If you like that series, that's fine by you. But these are my own personal ones, so keep that in mind, okay? Oh, that's one thing as well, is that some of these tropes I will actually gonna say is I've seen like other people ones, and I have to agree on these certain tropes as well. First things first, this one's one of my personal ones. My pet peeves is anime characters, the one with the one tooth. Yeah, you can probably get that way with like kids and whatnot, but if you like say like adults or teens, that cute little fang, it just bugs me. I think it's the whole symmetrical issues or my OCD, because I know people get angry, they'll show their fangs, but no, it's just that one fang. It's trying to be like cutesy, that sort of thing, but no, it bugs me. I know it's like one of those sisters on Gurren Lagann. She has the one fang, and it's like, I know her personality, that whatnot, but no, it just bugs me seeing that. And that's a shame, because one of the series I've seen involves the characters with one fangs, and especially my anime waifu has a particular fang. It's like, no, it's like, it just bugs me. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just a design thing that just bugs me the most about it. This one's a personal one of mine, is boys with very, very obvious female voices. The thing is that, yes, I know doing boy voices is very tricky to do. And again, like I said on my my anime manga video list is about how, of course, Bart Simpson's voiced by a female sort of thing. But they make some women can actually crack pulling off boy voices. Case in point, like on what was it? On Full Metal Alchemist. Not on Brotherhood, for example, was a female's doing the voice of Alphonse, who she actually managed to do a boy voice, and that's really awesome. But then you got such animes like I think good examples on Back Butler. The voice of Ciel is a dude, but looks very bishi looking for it. It looks very feminine as well, and voiced by a woman. It's clearly a woman's voice. You can't make it much more of a boy's voice. I don't know, then again, CL was about, what, 11, 12? Definitely before his teens. I know, judging wise, but man, can they just, no, that's just. Next one on my list is unnecessary fan service. Now, the thing is that I like fan service, but there's gotta be a limit to how much. I've already mentioned this on my my manga and anime collection list. Is that for example, like I said on that video, Rosario Vampire has the good amount subtle fan service, but if you're talking shows like I'm trying to think. All right, good example on To Love Ru, the first one. Yes, it's subtleness, but there's some risky ones into it. That's fine. But then there's the introduction of To Love Ru Darkness, and was it Muto? I think it's the second season. And then it got really into the much more hentai-ish elements to it, and it's like that one. Because a good example on the second season is like the character, what was it, Sairenji. She's into the body of a Ricto's dog, and Ricto's cleaning dog, and you can tell certain gestures of what's. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that one, but it's just. The funniest thing is that I saw an article online. It's like it's saying about why the necessary fan service. It's like if the story isn't interesting, or is it like it's almost like a fart show in some respects. It's like if someone like talking serious, it's not getting along, and it's like, oh crap, we don't want to bore anyone. Enter a fart joke. And this is the same thing for this fan service sort of thing. It's like, because the whole sex sells sort of thing, it's absolutely annoying. And you know the funniest thing is that, I'm really guilty saying this, that I like Air Gear. It has a really interesting story, but yes, it has that problem. It's very hypocritical of me saying so, because at the beginning of Air Gear, it started very well with its just not that much fan service. But since well, I think it's during the time when Ogre, it was done, I think in midpoint it finished Tengo Tenge, if I know that name rightly. And then suddenly that sort of, much more of the fan service is being dug in. But lucky enough, it's not like over the top like it did in Tengo Tenge, because you actually see full frontal, that's yes. And but lucky enough, it didn't go too overboard. Well, I think it sort of does, but not too over the top, like it did for To Love Darkness. Bleach, majority of the females have big breasts. Fairy Tail started off strong with its subtle fan service, but now, however, it got to a certain point in the manga, and I think that's the same problem it has on To Love Ru. Both those series were heading to cancellation because of low sales, and the reason is they got much more successful because of fan service. And case in point for Fairy Tail, it's like I don't want to get into it too late, but I was going to say these subtle things. It's a slight spoilerish. There's a scene where Urza gets captured by this dark guild run by these sort of demon guys, and they captured Urza, and she's naked on the shackles, and the female demon and a certain, well, obvious thing do this stuff, but I'm going to stop right there, because that's when I stopped watching reading Fairy Tail, because of that. I thought, you can't do that, that ruins it. Because it's supposed to be a shonen series, but now they've just done that, especially for that 2+ scenes. And especially with having Lucy just being naked throughout the whole majority of each of the arcs. She gets naked, of course. That's the thing, because I don't mind fan service. But sometimes it just... That's another thing that's annoying about fan service, is that I have to agree on this particular trope. It's like gravity-defying boobs. It's like the massive... one really awful anime I remember watching, I don't regret watching it, it's Iken. My god, that show is awful. And it's and I started to notice it from watching Fairy Tail. Majority of the female characters' breasts are just like literally the size of their heads. So like, my god, the back aches they'll be having. A bit funny actually, because on the ferry of Fairy Tales, there's a scene when Grey enters Lucy's mind, and even like Grey's like, "Whoa, what was all this weight?" Of course, so, because it's I believe the big ass breasts sort of thing, but no, just really stupid. And that's another thing that's about unnecessary and fan service. Again, like I said on my the manga anime videos, that I do not like Sword Online, but there's one particular episode I just literally gave up on, and it is, funny enough, it's a fan service shot. It's a scene as I think it's episode 4, because I know it had personal other reasons. It's like, oh come on, but this one, it's an episode when a murder is happening, and they are trying to ask this girl, and she's crying, and then literally in the next shot, a butt shot. That's the, and I thought, that's my flip the table moment. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I just gave up. It's just, see, that's an unnecessary thing. It's trying to break away the tension and the drama of that scene. It's just a very, it's just, oh man, just it's something that's very serious that happens, and suddenly it's like, again, the fart joke. It's like something's very serious, add some humour. This one, something is very attention hot thing, fan service sort of thing. But man, and yet another trope I have to agree on, annoying pet peeve in anime, it's the power of friendship. You know, that sort of we are together. There's like this is like the whole hope thing. It's like dividing the odds. They'll be beaten by a certain villain, and the group's all rallied up. It's like, oh come on guys, we're not alone to this. We are together, and they managed to beat the boss with no problem. A good example. I think I noticed this trope from watching the Anime America's annoying anime tropes. Is obviously Fairy Tail is big finger points towards it. Is they keep on using the power of friendship. You like throughout the things like Fairy Tail up against Hades, the dude, the former ex guild master. It's like in that it's like rally him up, and they managed to beat him with no nipply split sort of thing. And it's like Urza up against that tree wood dude in that on their island, and she managed to defeat it. It's like, oh, I'm not alone. I got my whole guild. It's like that. It's just It's just absolutely annoying. And it's like that's mostly in shonen ones as well. Because like yes, I know friends are important, that sort of thing, but and of course the power of Deus Ex Machina sort of thing. This one, yet another trope I agree on as well. The whole Uni-chan, the whole incest sort of thing. Ugh, really, crawl my skin. Oh, I forgot what's the name of it. Name of the anime was. It's the one with it was School of Magic, and you have a brother and sister, and the sister looks up upon her big brother, but she's throughout it applies throughout in this the minimum first lot of episodes. It's like she want to do her big brother, for crying out loud. It's like yes, I appreciate you look up to your siblings, all that stuff, but she just looks like she wants the fucking dick. You know what I mean? Hentais have that category of that, the whole incest sort of thing, but here no, it's just so awkward. Okay, here's my personal one. Bad dubs for awesome anime. Now, a good example is this one. I think I could name two of them. Was it Attack on Titan? There again, I can't. I need to get trouble with Attack on Titan. That's a really good anime. However, the dub for it is awful, bad. Especially when you hear that's another I'm gonna get to back on Attack on Titan. Levi's voice on that one, it's too deep. What was I about to say? Oh, that's about. I was thinking of D. Grey Man. That had really good story and ideas at one certain point, and the dub. Oh my God, the dub is bad. Especially they had the awesomeness that is Travis Williams doing Kamina. You don't give Kamina a really deep, manly voice. Yes, he's awesome. Doing like Travis Williams doing like Roy Mustang, that sort of thing. No, you can't give it to Kanda. You can't. No, and especially the voice of Lavi, wrong. Alan, wrong. The Earl's voice, wrong. It's just not what we want. That just sucks. Majority of the anime I watch is dubbed because of I don't want to have the hassle of looking back and forth. But there's some shows it's best to leave it as subbed because man, some of their voice dub work is not great at all. Another anime trope I personally don't like. Why is it every single most of the animes I've watched, case in point, it's like To Loveru or those sort of shows, why is the parents always leave their children in their house? Yes, maybe they're independent and they have to look after themselves, but why is it they'll either be dead or they actually go on a business trip? They leave their poor kids behind, and again, it's like in mostly the comedic shows. I forgot what's that one particular show. It's like the kids' parents, like they literally drained all his money, and for his Christmas or birthday, they actually gave him the debts. So that's really shitty parents they were, and funny, it's a comedic show as well, and it's just oh my God, why that happens? It's just Another personal one, pet peeve is cat girls. I know, yeah, no, a moe fetish sort of thing, but why is it keep on popping up? Yes, I know some of them are very cute and that sort of thing, but no, it's just overused, I would say. That's what's the biggest problem. I know there's very attractive women with cat girls, yes, case in point, you obviously know from Necropara, and it just seems too many. It's well, that's what it is. It's just overused, alright? It's overused, sort of thing. I know, I can remember there's one half anime character called, I don't know what's her name, but there's a series called Dragon Half, a half dragon, half girl character. Like that, for example. You really could at least spice it up, mix it up, sort of thing, but no. You gotta have the same bloody cat girl. Again, more sex appeal. It's now a personal thing for me. Is I think it's called the whole fan service sort of thing, moe fetish, that sort of thing. Why is it a thing that's a particular action trying to make it moe? It's like I'm trying to remember that one particular Lost Pause videos. What's that one with this? It is the title of that particular series. It's like they're trying to make the water flea, those very creepy ass things, into a cute thing. It's like you. And it's like, I don't know what's the name of the anime, but there's a certain character they're trying to make a girl character into a cockroach. then again, you don't want to fuck around the cockroaches from Terraform Mars, that's for sure. But trying to make something cute, but which it isn't, sort of thing. And Fetishize. I don't know what's the name of that another series I can't mind. It's a very long name, but here it is. Watergrottery, I think it is. It's like there's a scene when again the whole incest Oni-chan BS sort of thing. It's like the brother is still brushing this girl's teeth, and somehow she's getting really turned on by it. It's like, what the fuck? Another good example is Nekopora. It's like there's a scene of two of the cat girls get the ears cleaned, and somehow they're getting really pleasurable by it. It's like, what the fuck? It's just another trope I have to agree on as well is the perverted intro. This is a very common trope from anime. You know, that sort of you introduce the main protagonist, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be late on. I'm going to school, sort of thing. A common trope as well, going to school. Sudoku. What's it called? The Japanese word. You have the old bloody toast in your mouth. You got sudoku, or something like that. Sudoku, I know, something like that. And the character bumps into a female, and then there's like grab a boob or look up her skirt, that sort of thing. That common intro every single time. Case in point, like on the end of the episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion, when funny enough, the scene when Rei and Shinji clash, and you see it's like Rei's covering her skirt, and funny enough, she's the one with the bread on her toe. The toast in the mouth sort of thing. And what other ones is there? Oh, was it a Maya Color Phantom World? That one. It's like they introduced that it's not a monster, that the ability to suck in I don't know, spirits or what it is. And there's like he's trying about to go with the whole trope, but of course that trope happens. And of course that's ironic as well, because of it's like that's another thing annoying as well. It's like after that what happened, and it's like they go to school and it's like, I will avoid you the whole time. And of course at the end towards the story, like, oh, I fall in love with you. Oh, you're not so bad after all. Oh, fuck's sake. It's annoying, that is. Now, this is a trope I agree on, I don't like as well. Plot armor. That's right. Again, it goes back to Solo Online. Freaking Kirito. The whole, yes, I know he's a beta and he managed to level up more advanced. And it's just like, even I just saw like clippets from shows and how they say about plot armor, especially for Natsu, but I'll get that very shortly. It's like Kirito, I think there's a scene when Kirito literally got stabbed by a sword, but he managed to win the battle. Like, no! Yes, I know he's the main protagonist. It's like the same bloody, like, what's her bloody name? Aunt May from Spider-Man, for example. That's the same sort of problem as well. It's like, you can't kill people because you be bad sales, that sort of thing. But no, it's like that. And I didn't actually notice it from watching it Fairy Tail for Natsu, but then I realised, yeah, I remember there's that one scene when Natsu's up against, what's it, their names again? Sting and Rogue. It's like, both of them, like, what was it, the 4th generation Dragon Slayers? They managed to combine their powers, and they attack Natsu, and it's like, hey, nothing affected me at all. It's like, how's that possible? Yes, I know because he's like the first or second generation. No, he's the first generation of Dragon Slayer, and it's like, you can't beat me because you're just artificially made, that sort of thing. It's like, oh my goodness. And that's another thing as well from plot armor is the loss of blood. Now, I think this might come to Bleach, for example. Oh my god, the amount of times that people lose their blood and they still, it's like, oh, it's just a cut. And no, it's funny because I remember watching an episode of what was it, Tengen Romper 3, the Despair one. It's the episode. Okay, spoiler for this episode. It's involved with the gamer chick. His name, and here's the picture of her. It's the scene when of course Junko's sort of trying to fuck up the who would be the remnants of Despair, and the gamer chick about to go for the because she's been cut, injured, and pierced with the foot, sort of thing, and she's about to go. I knew from the start she was gonna fuck her over, and literally, yes, spike for the heart. Spikes come up and pierced her, and then she's there dying, and then she meets up with that bloody that Ultimate Hope dude, and she's still losing blood. I'm surprised in the puddle of blood, and she's still enough to talk. So yes, and eventually she dies, of course, and we definitely know what will happen to her in the second game. and it's just really odd. It's like you without a loss of blood, you'd be dead, unless someone at the side afterwards actually would give massive amounts of blood transfusions, that sort of thing. But yeah, there's annoying. Another personal anime trope. So I'm just looking at my list because there's a lot of them. Is that I think this is very. I think this started off from Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's like they have teenagers with problems about his attitude. It's not, but well, funny enough, it is Power Rangers actually, running enough. Teenagers or kids piloting mechas just for the hope for humanity, sort of thing. It's like, how? Because he's like, especially like for I remember of Shinji, of course, getting the fucking robot Shinji. Like that, for example, is like you have a guy who's mentally tormented for his whole life and has some issues, and you let him piloting a godlike, I don't want to say mecha, no, a creature in a robot suit. A good example is like even like Asuka in the near towards the end of the series is when she got infected by that angel, and she actually gone a bit loopy, and you can't you letting unstable people piloting these machines and they'll cause havoc or not. Another thing I don't like was, I think this might be a bit problem with me as well, is that animes with too many characters. Case in point, like Negima. I know, it's funny enough, Bleach at the beginning of, I actually remembered most everybody's names, but now I starting forgot most of them. And it's like, but as the series go on, there'll be like more characters coming in and whatnot. And I think this is mostly, I think because, again, I'm bad at names, I think I'm forgetting more of the Japanese names rather than the Western names, because Japanese names are a lot more, of course, much more syllable names and base sort of thing. But no, there's a few examples, but no, there is definitely some. For example, I can't, to the life of me, can't remember any of the characters' names of Tengenrompa, for example. I could not remember everyone's names at all. I could remember some of them, like Hinata, Teruteru, Sophia, I think that's her name. Like that, for example. That's funny enough. That's a class of 15 characters. But you are talking about a series, again, like I mentioned about Negima, you're like 30 plus girls in the classroom. I could not say for the life of me remember those names. But no, and I think there's another problem. Is like, again, such shonen ones. It's like you're introducing like some characters, but it'll be like very short appearance and that's it. You don't see them again. Yeah, maybe come back again. But no, I think that's because of me and my bad memory of names, sort of thing. Yes, I had to agree with this particular trope. Fillers, and especially its filler endings as well. Yes, right, that's funny, because I still need to watch bloody Naruto Shippuden. That's funny, because I already got past Naruto for its fillers. Lucky enough I skipped them lots, because of course they're fillers, necessary fillers. I know the whole issue about the fillers is that it's trying to give enough time for the manga to catch up and they actually would get to the story, but there is some unnecessary ones. But funny enough, there are actually some ones that actually made good character developments. I'm not sure what it was I could think of, but no, they're for the ones the opposite one, this out of the spectrum, the negatives about fillers is that it's unnecessary and it's just been a waste of time. Case in point, and funny enough, on Bleach, for example, there's the filler art of the bounds, bounds, I think it was. They introduced 3 of the those doll-like characters, and funny enough, you see them sort of sprinkled into the actual main story. It's like I think it's one good example is the fight when the Iran because the Espadas, I think they call them. The fight with Renji against that bald dude, I think it was. No, it's not the bald dude. It's someone in particular. Yeah, it was the bald dude. Of the Espada. They had those 3 characters from the Bound episode fight. Of course, it's going to be a pointless fight because you know how it will go straight into how it was in the manga sort of thing. It's like that sort of worked, but I mean, like the obviously fillers is it's like they want to go repeat what's going to happen. I know they might actually say like, oh yeah, remember such and such from. It's like, oh yeah, but then again, it's not going to make any difference in the mainstream of the actual plot of the story. Another one I have to agree on as well. I think this one's a very, thing that's sort of effective with fan service as well as the lolly kind Oh god, and I mean not, and I know that the term lolly means childlike features, that sort of thing. Case in point, one of my personal waifus is Hestia from How Do You Pick a Girl in a Dungeon. I think that's the right term for it. But funny enough, they joked her for being a lolly, but there's nothing childlike. Well, maybe her face or whatnot. But the ones I really don't like the most is the much more younger age girls ones that I do not like. It's like the whole Oni-chan sort of thing all over again. Then again, it's one of those really creepy moe style ones that it just seems wrong. Another trope I had to agree on as well is in fight scenes, you have the obvious good and bad guy talk scenes. It's like fight, 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 fight. Oh, you're impressed fighting. I see you. Let me tell you a little story about what my backstory is. That sort of thing, and then a fight. And a good example is on the fight against Aizen and Ichigo. The last fight, very anticlimactic. They are fight, fight, fight. Talk, talk, talk. Fight. There's like stroke my ego or show my power sort of thing. I got, but again from Aizen, to me it's like he's like a bad RPG player. It's like, no, I didn't defeat you. I defeat you with my that sort of thing. It's like check out my power. It's like, aha, I got more power. Fight, 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 fight. Aha, you just got my true power. I think this has made a big problem. It's like on Dragon Ball Z, for example. You know, like the fight from Goku beat Frieza. They sort of like fight, 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 fight. Yeah, I know it's gonna break the fight, and especially you've got to give a break for the poor animators. Scenes it's break tension, but no, it's unnecessary thing. It's like enough talk, time for fighting, that sort of thing. Now, the one the main event I want to talk about. So I already mentioned it on what was it? The anime and manga video. This is my own opinion again. It's when people called anime cartoons. No. 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 It's not fucking true. So it's going to really offend me the most. Because the thing is that I've grown up watching cartoons. I've seen Disney, Warner Brothers, that sort of ones. And it's funny because I always know that cartoons are for children for the age of 5 to 12 perhaps, and of course there'll be some animated shows so like G.I. Joe or Transformers sort of thing, even though Transformers is actually anime, ironically. It's like and there's a category of which age category it is. As a good example, Tom and Jerry, that's another good for cartoons, even though it's very violent, but you know what I mean. But anime, it's animated, yes, of course animation is short term for it, that sort of thing. But have you seen, you know what I said, we mentioned about the whole Talaru High School DX or High School of the Dead sort of thing, like that, for example. They're not fucking cartoons. How can you class something okay, good example. If you think it's called cartoons, look for a good example, watch Boku no Pico. Look at Vine and Jack, for example. Can you call them cartoons? I heard even like yes, I know there's such animated films that's even is dirty. For example, like how was it, like Fritz the Cat or That Dirty Duck, for example. Especially saw of course I got that from the Cinema Snob, that episode, and that's very raunchy, racist type sort of things that sort of happened, and it's like even like I know some animated films that's featured like form of nudity sort of thing. Case in point, I remember there's like one episode I watched when I was at secondary school called the one of the animated combinations of William Shakespeare, and this is that yeah, the good example. There's a sex scene into that one. You see Romeo and Juliet having sex, and like that, for example, that's animated. Yes, I know cartoon animation and cartoon anime is animated, but again, like I said, cartoon and anime has different categories. Sort of like, yes, I know anime influences came from cartoons, or like, no, okay, good example. Oh, what's it called? Oh, it's one of it's a recent show that's somehow getting buzz. It's the cats. It's a fish involved with it. I've forgotten what it's called, but if I know it, I will be right here. And that has like one particular episode, they had an anime influence scene to that one. They could another good example of anime influence as well as on Teen Titans, the original one, not that awful Go one. It's like they have elements of that one. Okay, that's fine, but calling anime a cartoon a genre isn't what it's all about, sort of thing. Okay, I might as well just end this particular topic of this view saying this. Anime is not cartoons, alright? Yep, that's pretty much it for it now, so thanks for guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.